Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries. Aaron's here, and my apologies to Barkamo. Take it away, Aaron. What's today's topic going to be about?
Well, we're kind of way behind schedule, but it came to my attention today. It was about catalogs. It kind of sounds like a boring topic, doesn't it? But I remember a good old day when catalogs were everywhere. Yes.
Plentiful.
And this is all spurred on today because we got a letter from a company in which we requested a catalog that says that they're no longer doing paper catalogs. They're going
Digital.
online, digital only. And that's wonderful. And because of that, it made me think of things. So I got out an example. Rita's got a Bass Pro catalog here. And it's not as good as like the U.S. merchandise catalogs or the Sears catalogs or the J.C. Penney catalogs.
I wanted to say that J.C. only produces catalogs now at Christmas time, if you didn't know that.
The Bass Pro is great for certain people, but it's not really great for this video, but it'll work. One of the things that I liked about catalogs was, well, it had just about everything in it. Like here you got fishing lures, you know, that you can buy. Then you turn back to the section back here, and they actually have automotive stuff. And then they have here, this is all hunting equipment and stuff that comes in this section. I don't know what these things are exactly. Feeding trough things to attract food.
For deer.
Then they have their videos and stuff back there and books. And then they have this wonderful clothing section, and it's got a huge variety. Now, I remember as a kid, one of the things that I would do when it came around to Christmas time is I'd open up to a page and say I wanted something. I'd circle it and say, yeah, I want this stuff and this stuff and this stuff over here. And then I'd have a nice little list that I could make up during Christmas time. You can't very well do that with online stuff anymore.
I'd like to get something real quick.
I mean, you could bookmark the page, but how many bookmarks does a person have? And how many times are you going to go through the bookmarks? And then you got to load all this stuff, and the data load takes a while, and it's not exactly convenient anymore. You can make a spreadsheet that's got links to everything. There's a list, but it's not as pretty as taking like a bunch of paper and using some glue and cutting things out of the catalog and gluing them to the paper and making a little booklet to flip through. It gave you ideas and plans, things that you wanted to do. Housing materials and stuff. You could look at plates and say, you know, I can't decide. Do I want this plate set or that plate set? Now you got to sit there. This window, that window. This window, that window. You know, it doesn't work as nice. And you could take a catalog with you, or you could take a clipping from the catalog to a store and say, is that a comparable price? Or do I like this better than that? And now with unless you have 3G, you can't take your tablet to Walmart with you and say, I was looking at that plate set. Well, that's a similar plate set, almost the same price. It could be the same plate set. Or, I like this one. Hey, it's half the price. I think I'll go with this one. Unless you have 3G.
Or 4G.
Or 4G or whatever. Or the future unlimited 5G, 6G. Who knows? They'll keep going. There'll be 20G one day.
I would like 20G. Yeah, 20G. I would like to make an example out of this, for example. My mother used to have the J.C. Penney and Sears catalogs. Now, sometimes we had to go places. Grandmother had a trailer on the coast, Ocean Shores. We used to take trips every weekend somewhere. We'd go and we'd travel in the car. The 3-4 hour trips, you know, to Winthrop or Leavenworth or Wenatchee or Spokane. All the way over anywhere in the States. Heck, we even got to other places. Rented a motel for 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night. On our travels, we used to take this.
This is a phone. The catalogs.
We had the catalog with us. Mom always kept it in the car.
Call and order.
We called right on the phone, right here, on our way. Mom said the phone was good convenience, and we always had it. If we had something we needed, for example, she saw something and say the EB catalogs one year for Christmas, instead of going all the way to EB and getting in line, she'd just pick up the phone and be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they have it in, okay.
You know,
nowadays, it's go online. It's like today's letter. We're going into the digital era.
Yeah. Another thing, when I was a kid, too, I remember at 4 and 5 years old, going to a relative's house or whatever, and I'd get a catalog, and I'd look right for the toy section, find the toy section, and I'd sit there and daydream about this toy and that toy and how I would interact with them because I didn't have toys with me. You're not going to give a 4 or 5-year-old a tablet PC and say, here, go look up toys online.
Toys R Us.
And they're going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, you know, they're more likely to end up taking a tablet and beating it against the toilet and laughing about it. And then you'll be like, oh, well, there goes a $500 piece of equipment because I gave it to the kid to try to... No, we need catalogs in this world. Now, another thing about catalogs is mail order. They go through the mail. There's a shipping fee, a shipping cost. It puts the mail people to work. It ends up giving money and revenue to the government. Magazines are going the same way, and they're taking away the revenue from sending out their magazines by going digital. And they're getting more money, but the government's getting less money for our postal, and then our stamps are all going up.
Yeah, and
then they're laying off workers because there's not enough stuff because catalogs and magazines are no longer coming through the mail.
Yeah, because they're going digital, and because they're going digital.
Heck, even newspapers. You don't live in the area, you get the digital copy rather than subscribing and getting the copy delivered to you at your home, 2 or 3 days later or whatever. So, anyways, that's just my thought on catalogs. I really hate seeing the disappearance of the catalog. Yeah, changes are coming, but some changes are not for the better. Yeah, all this stuff is extra paper. These tree huggers could say, hey, great, they're getting rid of the catalogs and we don't have to print them anymore. You know what? There's so much garbage in the dumps right now that's paper waste and stuff that they can make recycled catalogs cheaper than they can make these. And they can make them out of old newspapers, old magazines, old catalogs. And instead of cutting down new trees, we can still have these.
There is a recyclable thing. Heck, our pizza box said made 100% on recycled paper.
Yeah, and you can't tell the difference between that pizza box and another pizza box. But anyways, what I'm trying to say, though, is that it's sad to see this form of media go away, because this was like the ultimate type of shopping guide, was to get a nice thick catalog and sit down and go through and see what it is that you might need. You know what you got to do today, since it's all 3G? You got to go to a website and say, what do I need? You can't go through the whole website. You can't, they don't have an easy to view catalog anymore.
It's like,
you can
click on women's...
You can say, ooh, I want electronics, I want computers, I want netbooks, I want black, and I want 3G enabled,
4G.
Or 4G enabled, and it'll show like 5 choices. But you go in computers and it says refine your search because there's too many damn computers. And if you're going through all this stuff, what if you say, oh, I want a pair of shoes, or I want to look for a vacuum cleaner, but you can't remember in your head, oh, I need a new vacuum cleaner. Are you going to go through 50,000 pages of online ads to try to remember, oh yeah, vacuum cleaner? But if you have a catalog, you can flip through it, and you can actually go through it pretty quick like this, and say, oh, vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I needed a vacuum cleaner.
I was going to say...
Now I can look at which ones I want. Maybe, heck, and now I can go online and see if there's any others.
I was going to say, for example, when he's talking about catalogs, it doesn't just help the Postal Service. And he's right, there's another problem with these people that say, oh, we don't need catalogs. For example, Sears back then, they might have had like 24 vacuum cleaners, for example. But nowadays, you sit there and you're like, what do I need? Like he just said. You could sit there, let's just say, for example, you don't have access to a mall. Okay, this is not about catalogs, but it's about shopping. You go through, say, your local store. Let's say it's Walmart. You're sitting there and you got a list. Oh, well, I need to get a new comforter set like I did the other day. You walk through it and you're walking down the aisles. And as you're walking around, you're like, oh, well, I don't need this. Oh, I need this. Eventually, you make a mental note. Oh, yeah, the vacuum cleaner is just fine. Oh, this comforter is a great price. Oh, okay, I'll get it at Walmart. It might not be all the color choices, but you could sit there and go online and be like, shoes, click on it. Or bras, click on it. Then it'll say color of shoe or shoe width or shoe size. Then it'll say, okay, these are your choices. Because I'm extra wide, and some of you say in the private message, oh, am I a boy or girl? I'm a girl, okay? I have large feet. So when I go through JCPenney's, it gives me 49 choices. That's it. And then I narrow it down to 12. And then, if you go through bras, for example, it's too complicated. You got to choose the color. You got to choose the cup size. You got to choose the waist size.
Yeah, and even then, it not necessarily fits. I mean, a 36C that fits one person might not fit another who always wears a 36C. Heck, a 38B might fit you when a 30 it never did before, because you're usually a 36C or whatever. So sometimes just because the size is marked there, it's like jeans, the same thing. I'm usually a size 38, but there's actually a pair of pants I have that's a size 42, and it's tight. But the 38s are
wearing
loose.
A size...
And I have a pair of size 36 that's actually a little big.
I'm wearing a size 9 pants. After so long, I went down to 9.
So just because something says the size, sometimes you have to try it on anyways.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you another thing. We're just seeing the beginning with the phasing out of catalogs and magazines and stuff. You know what's going to happen next is they're going to phase out places like Walmart. They'll have your groceries, but you're not going to find towels and stuff there. In fact, you're going to have to go online to order everything, and some people aren't connected on there. This is something that these places got to keep in mind, is not everybody is computer savvy. They're just trying to force it down our throats.
I want to say something. Hold on. He makes a point, because the other day, me and him, he was ranting and raving about this 2 years ago, remember? When we were talking about the malls, phasing out all the racks and putting in a computer that you go in with one employee or two. And you go online there and you order what you want, your size.
And it gets shipped there, and you can pick it up there, it gets shipped to your house.
Exactly, and you use your card right there. And they cut down the thingy.
And heck, in a lot of Asian countries already, you go into a Walmart and your shelves are basically a line of buttons.
Vending machines.
And you walk, no, it's not vending machines. It's a line of buttons with a product picture. And you walk by and you say, oh, yellow towel, press button, or slide in card. Then you walk around and you say, oh, Dyson vacuum cleaner, press button or slide in card, whatever. I think it's a card slot. You walk through the detergent area and you say, oh, I need some Tide. You slide in your card. Then you go to the front, you scan your card through a swipe thing, and it pulls up a whole list of everything that you slid. Then you slide your credit card and pay for it, and then you pull around the back of the store and a guy puts it in your trunk and you drive off. That's just beginning steps. There is no more customer service because they don't need anybody inside the store to help you shop. Because, for one, you don't need to pick up anything. You don't have to reach high shelves. You don't have to have shopping carts. There's no cart returns. There's no checkers because what are you checking? They only have a few employees in the back who gather everything in a box as you slide your card. And that's that. And so there's no shoplifting, no theft, except for maybe the employees stealing from the back. But, yeah, our world is going this way, and one day it's going to be 100% digital. The only thing that you'll be able to get in your local area is fresh produce and meats. Boxed foods and stuff, maybe, but more likely the boxed foods and non-perishable foods, or at least longer shelf life foods, you might have to order online too.
I was going to just say, I believe it was Mr. Bezos who said he wants to get into the digital age of having warehouses all over the 50 states and Canada.
They have these little buzz boxes, basically, and they put a box in with your package, and it's like a little helicopter.
No. We're not talking about the drones. What he wants to do is sell food, all canned foods. That's one of his goals with Amazon.
Well, the little helicopter things takes out the tiny drones. They could have a little shipping center in each city, basically, and launch those things, and it gets rid of the postal service altogether.
He wanted to do that. Did you hear about the guy that got in trouble? And then they ship by
truck from one place to another.
Minnesota? This guy had the license. He had everything. By the way, this is an interesting story.
Shot down a drone.
No, he had his own drone. People call him up and say that we're at the ice fishing on the lake. We want our beer flown in. He'd fly it over, drop it after they paid for it over the phone, apparently. And this
drone delivery service
for beer. Of course, the government said no, you can't use a drone for delivering beer. And he got...
I don't see why not.
Well, it's all over the news. He got in trouble for it. But yeah, they want these drones to do it. They want to cut out the Postal Service. Look at the Postal Service. Postal Service is going very crappy, as Aaron said. Every time you turn around, you order catalogs, you do mail order, it helps the Postal Service. Or it helps UPS or FedEx. Problem is, they're trying to phase out the Postal Service. Why? They don't want to pay the postal.
One thing I used to love back in Cleveland, I thought the future was going that way, which I'm wrong. I was wrong on. But we had a little place called Van Gogh's, and you could call them up on the phone and say, "Hey, I want Tony Roma's, and this is what I want." They'd place the order, deliver it to your house. Of course, you had to pay them first, and it was like $5 to have it delivered. But heck, you could get Tony Roma's, you could get Outback, you could get Longhorn, you could get Red Lobster.
The original idea of that came from Australia. It was out of Melbourne because they had that service for me, and I'd go through it all the time.
It was a great idea because places that don't do delivery, you can still have delivered, and it was just a wonderful thing. However, that service seems to be gone, and since I moved, I don't see anything like that around us either. Not that it's really.
I tried getting the Chinese place to do delivery.
They
but
won't do
they
it
won't
either.
Do it.
We only have one place in town, or two places in town to deliver. They're both pizza places, and
I've not tried the new pizza place, so
they're too expensive. They want $30 for a medium pizza. I'd rather go get an extra large pizza for $12
at Domino's,
or an extra large at Pizza Hut for $13. What makes Westside Pizza so much better? That half a pizza that's half the size or a quarter of the size of the ones I get for less money is worth that much. I don't understand.
I had 2 extra large pizzas. I ate on it for 3 days. It was filling.
I had one and I ate on it for 2 days. So,
but I shared 4 pieces also with
yes, I got 2
him.
pieces, and our friend Karen got 2 pieces too.
Anyways, the bottom line is look around. We need to help the postal
Hey, and I get to
service
cat sit this upcoming week.
Anyways, the other thing I wanted to say is when you order catalogs, you help the Postal Service out. Postal Service in my post office, they see me coming and they get on. We got Aries coming.
And you know, another thing about the disappearance of the catalogs, kind of upsetting to me. I used to have this prank that I would pull when I was in middle school to some of the other students that were irritating me. I remember there was this one guy, Brian, who used to bully me every day with his buddy, and they were like 4 years older than me, and they'd throw me in dumpsters and, you know, tape me to a wall, etc. They did all sorts of horrible, nasty things. But one day I got my just desserts on both of them. I ended up, and this is my passive aggressiveness too, I ordered each of them something like 400 different mail order catalogs. I just sat there on the phone all day, all night and all day calling places. Yeah, I'd like a catalog. My name's Brian, blah, blah, blah. Here's my address. And I call up others and others and others, and I get them on all these mailing lists. And their mailbox had to have been like cram-packed. And that still helped the Postal Service, and, well, it probably upset his parents that they go to the mailbox and find stack load of mail. But, you know, or a note on their door, pick up your mail at the post office. It was too much for the truck. Yeah, well, I can't do that anymore. First of all, I'm an adult, and second of all, I don't have anybody to do that to, and third of all, well, there's not enough catalogs anymore that you could really swamp somebody with them. So,
exactly, and there is places where you can order catalogs online, but you don't get that much of selection. It's like this. Or, for example, with me, every year I request certain brochures, certain product catalogs, and I get them. But sometimes I get a letter like today that says, we're going digital. And that is what today's topic is about. Aaron, on the other end, I knew they were going to send me the letter anyways. I just wanted to shoot from the hip, you know, as they say, and see if they would do...
Fly Rod Company. Now, I could kind of understand. They only have like 6 or 7, well, maybe 10 products. It's easy to go search online for their 10 products, but... and they don't really have all sorts of other little gadgets and gizmos that can go along with it. So, The catalog would be paper thin anyways.
Anyways, I wanted
Maybe
to
2
say
sheets.
I asked another fly rod company, for example. I was trying to get some catalogs together to mail out to A. A watches this, and the main companies, they all said no. I did get one coming from St. Croix, but and one other place, but every other one, Sage, Winston, Loomis, they all said we're going digital.
And I suppose you can make your own catalog by printing, but you'd be going through so much ink that you'd be giving HP and all sorts of other printer companies tons of money. And
Yes, I ran out.
And reams of paper each month, and
I
staples
ran
and stapler
out.
companies.
Yes, I've never. Talking about staples, in my entire time of owning a stapler, this box here, I've had 1,000 reams right here. I've never gone through in the whole box, and this box is with me for 12 years, 15 years. Never have. I've gone through staplers, but no, not a.
Is that the one I gave you?
Yes.
Thought so.
The one that Mom gave me broke.
Yeah, you got that little blue one up there.
That one's the one that Fiona gave me, my first wife, and it's broke. See, it won't staple anymore.
So you're using the one I gave you.
Yes.
See, I had to give her one because just about everybody important in her life gave her a mini stapler.
My mother gave me one.
So I had to give her a mini stapler.
Oh, hold on. I have to say something.
I'm going to pierce your ears now. Or how about your nose?
I have something to say. A likes office supplies.
Mini staplers are cute. I remember sitting there thinking of them as Pac-Man. And I get in trouble at school, though.
Yeah, and one time your dad said, "Where's my stapler?" And
No,
then
it wasn't.
I had this one with me, and he's like, "That's mine." I'm like, "No, it isn't. Yours is like this." He had this huge honky one.
He had a mini one too somewhere. He just couldn't find it. He thought you took his mini stapler, but you didn't. He lost it somewhere. Probably dumped it in his own garbage can or something by mistake. He's got it right underneath his desk, and he's just cleaning his desk off. It falls in. He doesn't notice. So, anyways, I think that'll do it for our video this week. And stay tuned for our next video. Hopefully it'll be this upcoming Sunday, but it might not be.
It might be as soon as I finish this.
Yes, we might actually do one sooner when she finishes that. We've been pretty sporadic about getting these done. So.
This next one.
We'll talk more about this when we do it.
This is a preview.
So
We're doing a video update on this.
Yeah, so look forward. There will be an upcoming book review type thing on this coming soon.
This is a guy who wrote the
we'll
Christmas
tell about
story.
it later. Tune in then.
Yes.
And leave suggestions, comments, and please leave idea topics for us because we are really stressed out trying to figure these out. And this one just came to us, but it had been like a week and a half, and we were way behind schedule. So
2 weeks.
We would very much
2
appreciate
days.
suggestions for topics.
Please add and subscribe. Please post comments in the box. Please add suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.